Guys, playing some Path of Exile 2, patch 0.5. Been enjoying it a lot last couple days. I was looking for a video or guide on Delirium juicing, endgame Delirium farming. Couldn't really find anything, so figured I'd run some maps, throw together a little video, get your guys' thoughts, and just, maybe provide some helpful information for someone out there who enjoys running Delirium or wants to try it or whatnot. So let's get into what we're gonna do. So the setup. So I'm gonna run 50 maps total. Um, on 25 maps, I'm going to run 3 Delirium tablets and 1 Abyss, and then on the next 25, I'm just gonna run 4 Deli tablets. So for the Abyss setup here, put together a little image. These are what the tablets will look like. What I found in running some Delirium already prior to doing this test. Most of the splinters and good and still liquids and stuff are coming from the unique Delirium bosses. So I'm going to be running 3 of these. Obviously the higher percent chance to spawn a boss, the better. And then rarity and effectiveness. These tablets can be anywhere from 1 to 2 div if you don't have both rarity and effectiveness on there. I think some of the tablets I bought for the project, which we'll look at before we start, were only 60, 80 exalts a couple days ago. So yeah, we'll run these maps. So these will be the Abyss Delirium farm. 3 Delirium tablets, 1 Abyss. Um, and for the next setup, we will be using 4 Delirium tablets, so same 3 boss tabs, rarity, effectiveness, and we're going to sneak in an increased stack size of splinters. Hopefully, on the second set of maps, the second 25, we'll be getting an insane amount of splinters. We'll see. Yeah, so that's the tablet setup. A little bit to talk about what we're going to be doing on the map device here, real quick. While this loads, maybe we can look at this. Jado is who I'm going to be using. So we're going to be running corrupted maps, either 6 mod, 8 mod, not being too picky, but get that additional modifier for more juice. Eastern Knowledge, very flexible. You could take unforeseen threats if you want to run the lineage support gym maps. Kind of take whatever you want here. If you want to grab something else you can, but unexpected missions and partial translations I'll definitely be taking every time. This translations is absolutely insane when this procs. It's nuts for any strategy. And then keen appraisal, exceptional items. Well, they have such a small chance of dropping if you hit big on a bow base or something. Could be worth taking. Could consider using Doriani 2 for some effectiveness, rarity stuff, irradiation, getting more XP, higher item level bases, prefix, suffix modifiers, more juice, and the cleanser corrupted. If you feel like you need the additional revive, you can take that. So that's a little bit about the Atlas Masters. About what we'll be doing, so very important about Delirium. In these Delirium zones, Grand Mirror spawn. So Grand Mirror, like it says, it reflects the boss. When you kill both reflected bosses, it allows you to project Delirium onto a certain area. So what we're going to be doing is hitting these Grand Mirrors and then, sorry about that, projecting them onto city zones, because in cities you can run 4 tablets. So when I'm saying 4 tablet setup, you have to be in a city zone. So probably projecting over here to the Citadel, because it's always going to have a city. Hitting these new patriarch or matriarch calls, I think they're called, for the new fragments that let you run the new boss over to get more points, and then probably hitting the Citadel too. So in the 25 maps, we will be including the pathing, any of the Grand Mirrors we need to hit, this extra content. Hopefully we'll be able to squeeze in as many city maps as we can, as well as, I think I have some over here to show real quick. We will be running any simulacrums we can. Just to include those results too. So when they're spawning on the Atlas, I would like to run those. But like I said, we'll try and get as many city maps as we can. Hopefully it's 10 to 15, somewhere in that range. But yeah, that's the general strategy. Project the Delirium onto a city zone, like I said. And then after that, make sure we path over there. when we're traveling, we'll just be using 3 Deli tabs, you know, trying to get some splinters and stuff like that, build up our delirious level to make sure we can run the sims when we spawn them. Yeah, so pretty straightforward. Last thing, just about the tablet prices really quick. You guys can pause and read this if you want to, but you know, 25 maps at one, won't repeat myself. First set of tablets that I bought were 4.6 div, so really not too bad. You know, this at the time I bought this, we were at 110x almost to a divine, so obviously that's gone up some. And the second set for the 4x Deli tablet, you know, bought them a little later, 130x to a div, and this was 4.3 divs. Yeah, and then from the run, I'll be putting all of the loot from the first 25 into here, and from the second 25 into here. And then we'll analyze that, kind of break down what we spent, invested, how much we're making a map. You know, I'll get my thoughts on Delirium and all those things at the end after we've done it. So yeah, let's check it out. Okay, so we have finished our maps. I ran 50 maps total. This is what I got from the first 25 that had Abyss. Obviously, you can see some Abyss currency in here. You know, we did get one Omen of Light, and a couple Echoes and stuff. And this was the tab for the 25 maps without Abyss, so just 4x Delirium tablets on cities, and then 3 Delirium on the other ones. So yeah, I'll go ahead and sort through this. Alright, so I sorted through the first 25 maps, which was our 1 Abyss tablet and 3 Deli tablets on city layouts. So this is the Abyss Delirium tablet. Like I said, we found a Diala's, so we're going to exclude that, but just for you guys, I went through, this was the initial investment, was 4.6 divs, obviously. It's going to change a little bit now because the ratio of Exalted Divines is different. Here are the results, and I'll move this over so you can kind of see. We got 482 splinters, 5 reflections, some Heart of the Wells, Omen of Light, Echoes, 19 raw divs, which in 25 maps is actually kind of crazy and nice. Some fragments, some bases and stuff to craft it on. Tablets, or 1 tablet worth anything. Looks like the 60 Exalt Ritual tablet. But yeah, if you want to pause it, these were prices of June 10th. So I think like almost 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks in the league. I don't even know at this point. But I went through and did the math. We had almost 8,000 exalts, which is like 63 divs with current prices. Subtract our initial investment, so it's 58.1 divs. So you're looking at making about 2.32 divs per map, which is really good considering we're including the pathing to the city layouts as well as you know, running the Citadel map. So I just tried to emulate what I would actually be doing realistically, running 25 instances. This did include running 4 sims, and running those 4 sims, you know, we did get 5 of these feathers, which you can kind of see here. They have gone down in price a little bit over the last 3 days, so I could sell these for 880 exalts, or you can run them to try and get the expensive drops. I've only ran like 1 or 2 of them. I believe this Raven Touch shard is what is dropping from that boss. The same thing, you can throw the sim onto your map. So like if you want, you can click and apply this here. And you just have to be 100% delirious to run it, or you can sell it. I did the price for all of the splinters combined, but these are like pretty expensive. You can drop the Megalomaniac from these. I think Voices drops from the actual simulacrum too. I'm not sure if Voices is from the boss or the sim, but you know, we like to gamble, so we're definitely gonna probably run these. I might sell the sims just because, you know, it's literally so boring. Yeah, but these were the highlights from the first 25 maps. Like I said, if we included the Dialas, you know, you're making 5.6 divs a map with this 82 divs, but you know, you're probably not going to hit this. You may, you know, get the Raven item. You may not. You may get Megalomaniac. We did get a Megalomaniac in the second set of results for the 4x Delirium tabs on cities. So let's go and talk about this now. Okay, and here we have the second set of maps. The next 25 maps or instances I ran. Just remember, these results include the city maps you're running with 4 tablets, and then pathing to them, some citadels and other things, as well as the simulacrums. So it's kind of the realistic experience, like we've talked about. But here were the results for the second 25, which was just a strictly Deli only. Honestly, kind of surprising getting 404 splinters. And this one before I got 482. I thought with the tablet setup I would definitely be getting more. So maybe a little bit of RNG there, variance. Only got 4 feathers from the Sims this time. Perfect Exalt, some emotions and stuff. Only 6 raw divs. We did get a Megalomaniac, which I've priced at about 3 divs, so we'll talk a little bit about that. I included Visions of Paradise and the results. I feel like it is realistic. It's like the second or third one I've dropped this league. Yeah, running through the math on this one, remember our initial investment for this was 4.3 divs. Total, we made 5,800 exalts, which turns out to be about 46 divines, and then subtract our investment. We're looking at about 41 divs made, which is 1.65 divs per map, compared to the first one. You know, it's about 0.7 divs or so less per map. Maybe that's because of the raw div drops. Yeah, but these were the results for the second. To discuss the Megalomaniac, obviously these can be worth an insane amount of money. Price checking this, Agile Succession seems okay. Attack speed and then evasion, if you have hit an enemy recently, is good. And then consistent intake is literally worthless. Yeah, so basically I just priced it on being Agile Succession, which here you can see 3, 4, 5. So I just listed at 3. This, I checked Deadly Invocations. It's like some spell thing. So obviously most of these ones priced this low are probably not synergistic at all. You know, you start to get more when you have 2 things that work together. Yeah, and then you can obviously hit super jackpot items with these Megalomaniacs. You know, the 3 divs seems pretty fair. You know, scrolling down 30 divs, these things are gonna be much better working together and stuff like that. So this was the conclusion of the second set of 25 maps instances. Now we'll kind of talk about my thoughts overall on Delirium. Okay, yeah, just to kind of conclude the video, talk about the conclusions. Obviously we made more in the first instance, more raw divs, more splinters, etc. There's obviously 25 maps is not a very large sample size, so I wouldn't really take anything conclusive away from this. The only thing I can really think of, let me see if I have it, is that Abyss was the reason I got so many more raw divines in the first setup, which I had Abyss, was because map has 31 increased number of rare monsters. I was getting a lot of raw divs the first setup, so maybe that's it. Maybe I had better layouts on maps. I have been feeling a little bit lately, some of the layouts on maps, they just feel kind of empty. For me personally, I like having Abyss on the map. I like having something else to do. I think you could also do various combinations of Delirium Abyss. You could maybe go 2 and 2 tablets on city maps. Throwing in another tablet, maybe something Like this one seems pretty good. You know, abyssal modifiers, does a great effectiveness rarity. We're having 4 additional abysses, making sure you're getting those rogue exiles on there so you can roll the Heart of the Wells. Um, you know, going forward, I'll probably still continue to farm Deli. Not sure how much. I think always adding it as 1 tablet is probably okay. One thing I would like to try, I think they said this was bugged with Hilda. I don't know if it's been fixed, but obviously you can get rare monsters. And then this Ancient Inscriptions, I think they said was bugged and they were changing the percentage. But, you know, when you're on city maps, I think they're maybe changing this down to 8. You could run like a Deli, an Abyss, a Radiated Tab, you know, maybe 2, and then increase the effect of the tablets this way. Or you could even honestly throw in an Overseer tab here, so you had 4 different tablets. This could be something interesting to try out. Obviously, with these Atlas Masters, you know, some of it does seem a little bit bugged out. You know, Doriani, the irradiation didn't work for some period of time. You know, but overall conclusions, it was fun. I do like Delirium. You know, if you just want to rush to the boss, you know, it's a great mechanic to do. You know, one thing to discuss too is 200% Delirious can be pretty rippy, especially when you're running, you know, 8 mod corrupted maps. On top of that, if you're adding Jado, where you have another random modifier, you can get some pretty insanely rippy stuff. So, you know, make sure your character is pretty tanky. You know, I have 5k ES and 80 evasion, you know, 89% deflection, and that's not even calculating me blinding most of the enemies. So yeah, this character is pretty gear. I still have a lot of upgrades to do. I'm really enjoying Monk a lot. You know, but overall thoughts on Deli, it's fun. You know, hopefully this helps you guys out trying different stuff in the future. You know, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask. I try to make the video as short as possible, but probably rambled a little bit too much. Yeah, so thank you guys. You know, hopefully you guys are enjoying this 0.5. I think it's a lot of fun. There's still some stuff they need to work on, but, you know, I'm having a great time playing.